Hi everyone, welcome back to our ongoing series on how to implement a life operating system in Notion. Today is going to be a short video addressing another question from our community. Someone had posted a very relevant and more in-depth question than I had covered in our previous task database video. So I wanted to do a little addendum here answering that question directly and providing a little bit more light on how the system works in terms of implementing the due date, the DO date, and what happens if you have some downtime and want to have a list that gives you options to fill in that downtime. So in response to the task database video I posted, Arop wrote in our community comments, "Thank you for this video, but I have one question. What do you do with tasks which can't have a due date yet? I have many tasks without an exact date. Tasks I want to do, but only if I have free time. For example, I have 5 to 7 main tasks for a day, and when I finish, I want to do some tasks from my next list. It can be read a particular article, call one of my friends, wash a car, etc. All these tasks can be done on any day of the week. How do you manage such tasks?" Okay, good question. So here's how I handle that within the system I've been presenting. First of all, if it matters, it should have a due date. If it's really important, if it needs to get done, it should have a due date. And for those just jumping into the series new, when I talk about a due date, I mean a DO date, not a DUE date. We have DUE dates for the occasions where there is a hard deadline, but in most cases we don't have a DUE date. For every task in the database, we have a DO date. And that is the date in which we plan to do it, to do some action in regard to that task. Now, that action could be to reevaluate it and reschedule it, or it could be to do it. One way or the other, some action needs to be taken on that task on that due date that is assigned. It could be a due date a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months down the road. What you're saying when you push it out that far is, I want to consider this task at that point. I don't want to let it fall through the cracks. I want to make sure it gets a deliberate consideration. And at that date, I'm going to evaluate whether it fits within my priorities for that day or within that week, or if it needs to be pushed down further. So if it's an important task, it will always have a due date, and it should have a due date. What this does is it ensures you never forget it. So it comes down to how important this task is. But if you think it's meaningful, give it a due date. If you don't have time for it now, just push it down a little further. Now, if you come to that due date and you don't have time for it again and you push it down and your action on it is reassigning it further down the road, if that happens over and over again, eventually you're going to really start questioning whether it's important enough to have a due date and to have a place on your schedule. The whole point of the due date is to put it into your schedule so that it never gets forgotten and it gets deliberate consideration at that date. And it won't be forgotten, and it won't come up too late in the process. So if there is a time it needs to get done by, it sort of raises that flag in time for you to consider it. If you keep looking at it and saying, not this week, not today, you keep bumping it down, well, that's a hint that it's actually not that important, and maybe what you should do is delete it. A lot of times, letting some time slip by, it reduces its importance. It doesn't seem as necessary as it did when you first thought of it. And by giving it some time sort of sorts things out sometimes and just lets you delete it after a while. So that initial urgency, the initial priority level you gave it doesn't seem to hold up after some reflection or after other things in your life have happened. So you can just delete it, and that's great. That's processing it. So you didn't forget it, you made a deliberate decision on it, and you either did it or chose to delete it, or you chose to kick it down and reconsider it at another time. So jumping into Notion here, we can take a look at how to handle this. So we've got our action items for today. And again, it's manageable. It's not a big list because I scheduled it the night before. If it was too unwieldy for one day, I would have rescheduled some of them further down the road or just deleted them. Now let's say I'm adding a new item. Now I could just hit the new button and new item, and you just pick a date down the road you want to consider whether to do it or not. Pick that date, and it's down there. Now it pops up, it'll roll into your today's action items when you get to it. So you're never going to forget it. That's the really critical thing here. Now, you also don't want your future dates in the calendar to have just a huge pile of items. That's one of the problems I have with systems that don't assign due dates, whether it's DUE or DO dates. Like GTD. I think GTD has a lot of great components, and I use many components of it. But this idea of this never putting a due date, a date on which you plan to take action, leaves you with these giant lists that become unwieldy. They put emotional burden on you. They weigh on your shoulders, and they make you feel like you're failing. They make you feel like you're behind. I mean, they have a psychological impact, these endless lists that you never get to. So I try to avoid that, try to really prioritize, try to screen out the things you know would be nice, but really aren't that important to the values and life pillars and goals and objectives you have in life. When we get to other elements of the system, like the life pillars and the goals and the value goals and the priorities in your life, those are going to be the guiding principles, the North Star. When you look at new tasks, are these new tasks getting you closer to those things? And if not, you should really think twice about whether to add them. Sometimes they're essential and you need to, and then you just try to do them as quickly as possible and hopefully batch them together. But you always need to be screening. You don't want to add anything that isn't important and particularly isn't driving towards these higher level priorities. Again, we're going to get to those databases and those priority optimization systems in a few videos. But for now, just know as you're adding something, you got to really ask yourself, is this important? Is it meaningful? Always ask what matters now. So the things you're doing now are the things that will have the biggest impact, will get you to where you want to go, or eliminate something that's blocking you. Nice to-dos, those are for free time. Those are for recreation. And you can schedule things for recreation in your task database, but they're going to be lower priorities and they're going to be saved for times of the day when it's more of a recovery or relaxation or kick back and recharge time of the day. So that's the balance you have to make when adding a due date. Now, to the question, there are times where I will go to a list that is just a next in line. If I have time, if I have some spare moments, I will go to a list and just review that. But the truth is, I don't have that much free time because I'm filling my action item list with really important things that I care a lot about. And I'm pouring myself into my action item list, which is my task database. But sometimes it's nice to have just a soft list, a next list. If you have some downtime, if that works better for you, there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I have that built into the system that I use every day and the one that I've shown you in my Action Zone dashboard. So let's jump into the Action Zone dashboard. Now, by default, this today action items is just always open for me. This is where I live and work minute to minute, hour to hour every day. But close that. Down here, we have our ongoing low priority list, right next to the not to do list, which is also important. But we talked about that in the Action Zone video. We glanced over, and I didn't really get into the ongoing low priority list right here. This is where I will handle exactly what was asked in the question. So the ongoing low priority list are things that I'd like to get to, but they're not urgent, and I don't want to forget about them, but there's no point at which it could be too late to do it. It's just an ongoing, if I have some free time, take a look at these. And if I decide at some point these are going to be important, then I will then assign them a due date. But they're sort of here in a rolling list as needed. And all I do is I have this toggle with either a page in the case of this item that I need to actually write, or a bullet list for things I'd like to read. Now, for a reading list, I'll primarily use Pocket, and that'll save all the articles. But that list can get very long. If there's something particularly important in my Pocket list that I want to read, and I'm afraid it might get buried and I might forget about it in that list, which can get a bit overwhelming, I will then put the bullet point here. So it'll also be in Pocket, which is where I will go to read it, but is listed here as one of the articles in Pocket that is most important to me. So this is sort of a prioritization of my Pocket articles, or it could be my saved watch later videos in YouTube, or it could be a book I just need to make sure I don't let slip through the cracks, because sometimes you get busy and you don't get to reading. But typically I do not rely on this list because I don't like lists that just get too long and too unruly and therefore become impractical and not usable, not actionable. If a list gets out of control, you just shut it out. It just becomes something that is too bloated to be useful or actionable. So I make sure this list does not get long. If this list were to get too long, during a weekly review, I would delete whatever is not important. I might leave it in my Pocket for when I have more time. I might spend a week just catching up on my Pocket articles. So I won't delete it from Pocket. This is just my listing of the highest priority articles that I don't want to forget to read, or I want to read first, even though Pocket may sort them in a different order. Same thing with YouTube watch later videos. So again, make sure you don't let this go too long, but this is where you list things that you get to when you have some free time, or you get to the scheduled discretionary time. Now, if that doesn't do it for you, I find that's plenty. This is basically a prioritization of things that are already saved in a Pocket. And when I have spare time, I almost always either go to read the Pocket articles, watch the YouTube Watch Later videos, or read one of the books on my reading list. I just default to one of those three things if I have spare time. But this is a way to list the priority among those, so I know which to go to first. Now, if you really do have a lot of spare time frequently, and you're constantly sort of, how do I fill that spare time? And your action items in your task database aren't keeping you busy, or you're just scheduling some downtime and you want to spend some time away from the task database, and your lineup in Pocket or Instapaper, which save articles for reading later, or your YouTube Watch Later videos aren't compelling and aren't what you want to do, you want to have a wider variety of things, then here's what you do. Have this ongoing low priority list sorted by different categories. You could have toggles within toggles, creating a little bit more of a hierarchy of different types of next or ongoing low priority items. That should be part of either your weekly or monthly review. I would actually recommend for these things to be part of your weekly review. And I'm going to do video on weekly and monthly reviews and share more about how I prioritize and distinguish what goes into a weekly review versus what goes into a monthly review. That's going to be a whole video, and we're going to do a lot of really important work when we get to that. But I'm also a really big believer in getting thoughts down quickly. If you have tasks you might want to do, you got to get them down quickly. That's a fundamental principle of just about every system out there, from GTD to my system. So if it's easier for you to throw it into a list, you can throw it into the to schedule next list. That's a good place to throw it. You could use that as an inbox if you wanted a simple, quick inbox. Or if it's something, again, that's casual, then put it in the ongoing low priority list. But every single thing that matters at any level of importance gets a DO due date in my task management system, my action item database, because those things will never be missed. They will never be forgotten. And even if I just delete it later or continually push it down the road, it's always there for deliberate consideration. Again, if I'm pushing it down too much, that becomes a cue to me that it's really not that important and it probably should be deleted. So that if you have too many things in there and you're constantly pushing down too many things, that imposes a cost, a pain on you that motivates you to make the hard decisions on what matters and what you're going to keep. It sort of forces you, it puts a little pressure on you to delete things that really aren't that important. Or you could demote them to your ongoing low priority list. But with the due dates, the DO dates in the action item list, the task management database, you cannot miss them. You must address them at the date they were scheduled. That's the value of it. You can never miss something or forget something. You have to make a choice. Of course, surprises come up through the day, and sometimes the whole day gets thrown off. That's fine. You'll reassign, you'll push those, just go to the calendar view and drag them to the next day or drag them to next week to reconsider. Or if you keep getting derailed and these things never get done, maybe they're not important enough. So that forces that decision, or maybe what you're getting derailed by is the problem. You shouldn't be pushed off course so easily. You need to say no to things more often. You need to resist these derailing forces and stick with the thing you scheduled. That's always a big choice you have to make. But it's important that you make that choice deliberately. You don't just get thrown off without considering the trade-offs between what you scheduled, what you're being pulled toward. You have to make a choice. By making a deliberate choice, you're far more likely to make the right choice. And then finally, the last part of this is projects. Say there are things you want to get to, but you don't want to fill your task database with too many due dates that you're going to have to keep shuffling all the time. You assign them to a project and you put the project on hold. In a few videos, we're going to get to the projects database. And there you'll see we can make a project active or on hold, or it could be a someday maybe project. The way you assign the project will have an impact on what gets actively scheduled in the task database. So that's going to impact how many things you have with due dates, DO dates, that you're constantly assigning. So if you have a project that you keep pushing back and you're just not ready to get to, even though you've scheduled some tasks, take the tasks out of the task database. Just keep them attached to the project and then put the project on hold. When you activate the project, then those tasks become live scheduled due dates again. We'll get more into that in a few videos when we get into the project database. So I hope that was helpful. Just wanted to cover the bases there a little more thoroughly because these are really important process issues, and we need to have a clear understanding on the process in order for the system to work properly. So after this video, we're getting back to the main series of instructional video episodes. The next one is going to be on laying out your system for Notion in a flowchart. We're going to use Whimsical, but you can also use Miro. We're going to really visualize and put a graphical design together on how to see the interrelated parts in a flowchart of your Notion system and help design the parts that you'd like to add that you think would add value. But before spending the time to build it out, just make sure it fits within the whole scheme. And then after that, we're going to get into the other most important dashboard in my entire system. So the first most important dashboard is the daily action zone. We did a video on that about a week ago. The other most important dashboard is my alignment dashboard. It's where I have my pillar to pipeline pyramid, and it aligns everything from the daily tasks, the day-to-day actions, up to the projects, up to the goals, up to the values and the pillars, the aspirations that you're working towards in your life, and the person you want to become. So that is all about aligning the various hierarchies of goals and objectives with the action tasks that will get you there. And then after that, we're going to look at the projects database. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notifications of future videos. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button. That helps others discover it in the algorithm. And until next time, we'll be back with a lot more very soon. Thanks.